Chris, the Most High, Joint Ruler Ayatollah himself. We're here to talk about a lot tonight. Actually, just one really big topic. We'll see if there's anything that comes up during the show. Um, but yeah, man, hit that like, subscribe, and enjoy us on the ride to 200 because we're trying to get them up. So please do follow and all that stuff on Twitch as well because we're trying to get those numbers up. We only have like about 7 followers on Twitch, so we want to get that up. You guys are joining us there, or if not, you might want to hop on Twitch and follow if you guys do have a Twitch account and come back over here
Yeah,
to YouTube.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah. Do that. We encourage y'all. We encourage y'all to just dip off of YouTube real quick. We already got you here. You subscribe, respect.
that is
Go
if you are
on.
subscribed.
That's what go on Twitch.tv /
or,
everything is podcast. You know what
Just
I'm
do
saying?
both. Yeah, just do both. Yeah, if you can. If it catches on both
Hey,
spots.
you know what? Open up 2 tabs. Open up two
Yeah,
tabs. You know
open up
what I'm
two tabs.
saying?
That'll be even better.
Open up two
Two
tabs, kid.
tabs, two apps, whatever you need.
Two
But we
tab
appreciate
Tony.
y'all. Yeah, we appreciate y'all joining us tonight. Or if you're on delay, appreciate y'all joining us on today's conversation. But yeah, man, we are the zeitgeist. We are the culture. And we're here to talk about everything that matters. So first, before we do all that, Chris, how you feeling tonight?
Nah, bro, how you feeling today, man? Energy. We back end of the week. Back half of the week.
Uh-huh.
It seems like we are. We had 3 really good shows. I think today will be a really good show. But how are you doing? First day off. You haven't had to, go drive 2 hours to Poughkeepsie, drive 2 hours back. Was you able to get any rest? Was the house any quiet for you today?
Uh, yeah. Uh, it was good. It was good. It was fine. I got a little rest, but back to, being unk and, making sure everything's taken care of, for the youngin. Making sure that, he's good. And yeah, but it was a good day, nothing crazy. Make sure we got dinner done and everything. Very uneventful, very uneventful day.
Hey, uneventful days are kind of right now like a plus,
Our blessing,
right?
yeah. We don't want
Days
nothing
where it's
crazy going on. Just yeah,
yeah.
just trying to get through it and um, just get through it. We trying to get through this week, just and get certain things in order. So before the summer
But
ends, because summer's over.
I'm summer's over and the sun
Summer's over.
finally set. Oh yeah. Hey man, you know what? I feel your sentiments, as far as, what today brings and what today is. I myself had to sit my ass down today, you know what I'm saying? So it was one of those days where you just sitting there, you're like, damn, it's so much to do. What do you do? Take a nap.
Yeah,
You know what
no,
I'm saying?
I took a couple today, so I can honestly not intentionally either. It's one of those nights where you look at, oh shit, where's the kid at? Where's he at? Oh, he's over there. Okay, one of those.
Super,
Uh,
super, super, super uneventful, lazy. I don't know if it rained by you up there in New
it
York,
did.
but it was a rainy day down here
Hmm.
too. So it was just all right, let me fold some laundry. Let me dibble and dabble to do something around the house. But
Yeah.
more often times than not, the baby want me to hold him. So let me lay in the bed. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
Shit. Last night, what was it? Before the pod, I had pulled a Charlie horse in my calf. Right. Shit hurts so fucking bad, bro. So I don't realize it because I'm sitting down the entire pod, right? So I don't not active, right? Until I get up after the pod, I'm like, oh my god, this shit is fucking killing me. So I lay down, and then you wake up, you forget again. I wake up, oh my god, I didn't realize. So all day I've been dealing with this fucking knot in my leg. But yeah, it's just been one of those that's just hobbling around, taking it easy, taking it light, because it's been honestly active couple of weeks for me. So it was Thursday to just chill out, and I appreciated it the day. But the young one, man. Shout out to my nephew. He keeps me alert because he's a very crafty kid. Crafty kid. So that was that's what the majority of the day was, making sure he was good.
Being able to like watch a child and rush, like you feel like you're blinking, but you just rush your eyes, and that little jump scare that you have of like,
Uh-huh.
oh shit, I left myself. You know what I'm saying? It throws your whole equilibrium of chill off. Like you can't like chill after that a little bit.
No,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah. You get a
but
little jump.
sometimes but sometimes you get it locked down though. Sometimes the windows locked, top locks locked, bottom locks locked, iPad's charged, and sometimes I might just fall asleep in the kids' room. Hey, go be in the bed with me. Let me take a nap while you jump around and stem. But I know you right here with me. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
sometimes that
yeah,
usually works too. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. I kind of got like a little radar feeling, like a little aura around me, where I'm like, okay, he's not here. Like like almost I don't feel him, or he's too quiet. It's too quiet. All right, boom. I gotta
That's
go.
the
Gotta
crazy
go.
part with
Gotta
kids.
go
With
run out.
kids, you learn how to take a you learn how to take a nap with
Yeah,
noise. You can't
yeah,
take a nap when it's quiet. You
yeah.
cannot take a nap
Quiet
when it's
is a
quiet.
problem, actually. You
Quiet
gotta,
is a problem.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, so it was cool. It was cool. It was chill today. For how were you? How was the day for you? You've been
Um,
locked down, right? So
they actually, I can't even. I, me and Ivana don't really do a lot together. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I have to get better at. So today, the car needed an oil change. Unfortunately, I can't take the car by myself to get the oil change. So she has to go with me. So we
uh,
decided to go get the oil change
that's
together.
sweet.
And we
Oil
got it
change
at
day.
and we went to Walmart to get the oil change. So as the car was getting
Walmart's.
serviced, yeah, I know.
Oh my God, this guy don't listen to
I,
nothing.
I
This
can't.
guy.
I do. I do. But
Listen, we need to start that Walmart broadcast. If we start it here on this pod, listen, and then I'm not
yo,
gonna. I'm not.
the
We ain't gonna have we gonna have Jay Z talking shit to us. Nah, we
I
gonna
might,
hold it
I
down.
might, I might, I might be Jay Z considering the Walmart. I'm like Google owns YouTube.
Nah, man, we gotta get up on that. You gotta find another place to get an oil change. You gotta find a real different choice. You gotta find a different place to get an oil change.
But
Find a different
it
place,
was
man.
that's the thing. So that, to be quite honest, I don't really go to Walmart for the oil change, but I went to Walmart for the oil change because we also had to get some stuff for the house, and that is where I was
Mm.
conflicted. Right?
Listen, man,
Because
Publix. Go to Publix.
you know what? Pub- Okay, we'll talk. Because I found I you're right. I gotta figure. This is what I gotta do. Who sells Bluey toys and
Oh.
Minecraft toys and Go toys and Miss Rachel toys that is not Amazon, Walmart, and Target? Because I'm fucked right there. When I walked in, because what they do is they put the auto center in the back of the store. Well, if you've ever been to every Walmart, what is in the back of the store? The toys.
Toy
So
section.
once you motherfucker come in through this auto section and drop your car off, you are just, no pun intended with the show, indoctrinated with just buy me, buy me, buy me, buy me. Your kid will love this. Buy me, buy me, buy me. Your kid will love this. You buy me, buy me. And then that's right by the clothes. And to the point of this, Walmart, I want to say, I really commend them for making affordable kids clothes.
Do
I
you
I do.
do you offend?
I honestly, I can go in there and
You
get me a
commend them for
$3 shirt.
how they do that, though.
Hey, sweatshops to sweatshops. I don't know where it come from. I just no, 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 oh
Oh
no.
man, this
Hold
guy.
on, hold on,
Listen, what
hold
am I
on, bro.
doing here? It's just
Hold
a waste me on this
on.
pod. What am I doing even on this podcast at this point? If I can't even get my co-host to get on board with this shit,
What do you
what the fuck are we
mean?
doing?
I'm on board. I just said I can't. I have to. find the alternative of I have toddlers.
Hmm.
I love the fact that I can get cheap
You ain't
clothing
got
for
a
the kids.
Ross next to you?
Okay, so now I got to look into Ross. Okay, bet. Now,
Okay.
this is my thing. Not this is now our thing together, me and you.
Yeah.
Now we have to, without a shadow of a doubt, figure out the alternatives
Yeah. We
because
we gotta find what we
Ross,
need to get.
TJ Maxx,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
TJ
saying? You
Maxx,
said you said you said diapers.com, so I can go get the diapers.
Peppers.com. Yeah.
I can go to Publix and get the beach nut, fruit, food for the baby. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So
And
I
what
can make
happens
the
is it starts at
concessions. You know
home.
what I'm saying?
It starts at home, and then when people see how you moving, it spreads. Like when you people that you really, preach that shit, and you start to actually move on that shit, it spreads. I'll tell you right now, we don't shop at Walmart here. I mean, partially because it's not really close to us, but partially because I did ask him like I'm not shopping there. Like even when it is close, I just try not to go to Walmart. I try not to go to Walmart or Target as much as I can. Now, granted, Target, I know my little nephew, he loves Target. So sometimes, his mom will take him there just to get him a toy because that's where all the dinosaur Jurassic Park stuff is. That's where,
Ah,
the monster trucks are. And you want your kid to be happy. I get it. So for the kid's happiness, it
and
comes
they,
into play.
and they took away a Toys R Us. You know what I'm saying? Toys R
Toys
Us
R
would have
Us is
been a.
gone. You know.
They took down Party City. We can't even take them to Party City to get little fun stuff. You know what I mean? So I think right now, me and you, I think our biggest thing now is that we have to kind of figure out the distribution of these goods, right? Like why are they only forcing us to go to these places?
We yeah
And is it
we
is is it to conflict the public, right? Because
the richest woman in the world is Amy Walton or something like the Walmart heirs.
yeah, Walmart airs. Yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
so she is part of the family, and they are good, but they're so good that they can afford to take a loss on some even merchandise to maintain um like pretty much the omnipotence in the entire country. You know what I mean? So that's why your kids' clothes can be cheaper, your groceries can be cheaper, but they also are paying the people extremely low there so that they can come there and buy cheap food. It's almost like a trap. It's like a ever it's like a revolving door of income. So the money you're paying these people are the same money they're going to come back and spend over there. So what are you actually paying them? If they're and then you have your CEOs taking a bunch of crazy bonuses, and they're
And
making
Walmart actually just got hit with 2.9 tariff refunds from what
yeah on top of that.
2.9
So
billion tariff. So yeah,
so
it's
we're talking about you know a significant amount of corruption and almost they're not monopolizing the grocery store, but it's depending on your area of where you live, it kind of is like the only option of where you can get certain things, right? So it's almost like you got to go out your way to get them. So they kind of made it extremely convenient to be extremely corrupt in a sense. But yeah, man, we got to find our ways. We got to find our ways to know where we're putting our money, because the more conscious we are, the more conscious our people around us hopefully be, the more we spread our message. And I think that eventually it can be a national thing where we're like, hey man, the corruption of Walmart, what they do, they back Republican candidates. We saw it on Shoppers, Progressive Shopper. I'm not sure if it's Progressive Shopper or something else. But it's not good. They
so to no to your point to your point that I just looked up. What is my ethical alternative to shopping at Walmart for cheap children's clothing? Just
yeah.
an ethical, so I can buy secondhand through thrift stores, online resale apps, purchasing from ethical children's brands, or and I think that's
A
probably
lot of it is just
where
going and find the research, researching what is possible, what is available.
I
Um,
mean, again, to your point, going out your way to make something to that that's again, Amazon is as Amazon is as big as it is because the convenience that it offers,
exactly.
right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
you don't even
that
gotta leave your freaking bedroom for you to shop.
bro, nigga, you can take a shit, wipe your ass, and by the time you go wash your hands, it's at your door. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, like, and that is something mentally. Maybe this is intertwining with our conversation. Mentally, we have to hurdle some of these things, right? And if people don't understand or know what we're talking about today, me and your boy Chidi, we're gonna get into a conversation about black culture, black Americans, black people, and the religion of Christianity,
Yeah.
right? And so my boy Chidi has said that he has something for me that he wanted us to take a look at together. And that's just me and him together, and I guess you as an audience, and then we'll be able to kind of then spur that from a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, I think to the point is, like you just said, when you were saying about getting to through me, or you know what I'm saying, it's not that
Whew.
it's not that it's
All right.
not that, I now have to make the concerted, going to an affordable ethical brands. Primary, for those who have children, Primary is a brand. Colored Organics is another brand, and Hannah Anderson are three brands that were pulled up as affordable ethical brands. So I'm gonna do my research. I'm gonna see if I will spend some money with them, and we'll see. What that is. They sell they sell plain clothes, high quality cotton, organic cotton, uh,
Mm.
durable cotton. You know what I'm saying? So they are the three brands that picked up on the radar. And we can use platforms like Poshmark or uh,
Yeah, I'm on primary.com. They go up to from 2 years old all the way to 16. So,
okay,
yeah, man.
okay,
Honestly, sure, it's all types of shit. But yeah, man, it's all
primary.
about, doing the due diligence of checking it out and seeing where you can get your extra, just to supplement what you get. It might take a little longer for it to come to your crib, but hey, if you get it by the time school comes, you get it by the time school comes, and you rock with it.
And it's also for people to understand. It's also going to take your time to break right. It takes time to break a habit, right? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, you know what I mean. For me, instead of going to, usually I go to Take Five. You know what I'm saying, to get my oil changed. Take Five.
Okay.
You sit in your car and they do your oil change. You ain't even got to get out, type
Yeah.
shit. But for me to sit in the car with wifey and the baby and it's hot, that wasn't the ideal thing to do. And again, I was saving a little bit of chicken. Walmart oil change saved me about $30. You know what I'm saying? So I was compromised. I was compromised.
Okay. All right. All
Com-
right. We'll see. We'll check back in with Chris within next 7 6 months when he
Maybe
gets
I'll
back
change
from
my
school.
whole damn oil. Maybe goddamn, I'll be
I
the
want to figure
man.
out.
I'll do it myself. You know what I'm
I dead
saying?
ass want to do that. I want to change my oils and my brakes next time myself. I want to learn how to do that for real. I was just talking about it the other day. But yeah, as Chris mentioned, we are going to talk about the indoctrination of Black Americans or just Black people in general, because it happens all over the globe with Black people and Christianity and religion and the negative connotations when it comes to um, just black, just the color black, period. And why this is why I say black is not, we're not black. Like we're really brown skinned people. If we're being more accurate, we just kind of are given that, terminology to make it simple for people and put us in boxes and categorize us for jobs and places and demographic reasons. So now we're black. We're all black, right? But yeah, we're gonna take a look at this Antonio Speaks conversation on how they demonize black, right? And how it's not just within American culture, it's in our religion as well. That's gone across the globe. All right, so let me go ahead and share that real quick. I don't think I've shared it yet. One second. Let me grab that.
Let me go
Antonio
ahead.
Talks and Antonio Speaks, man. He's a pretty good YouTuber. He's another YouTuber who discusses black American, black topics, black American, and just black topics in general. So I'll really fuck with his content. So let's see.
So growing up, y'all, it was this black cat in my neighborhood that just used to roam the community. And I vividly remember the first time I encountered it. Me and a couple of my friends, we was just throwing the football around in the field. And one of my friends, he pointed out the black cat. He was telling everybody, hey, don't let it cross you. It's bad luck. So me being curious, I think I was like 8 or 9, something like that. I think I was in like, what, the fourth grade. Me being curious, I'm like, why is it bad luck? And his answer was like, because it's black. And I remember asking him, like, why? You know what I'm saying? But why is it bad luck because it's black? He was like, he don't know. He was like, his grandmama told him, don't let the black cat cross you or you're gonna get bad luck. And I bring this up because it's just a prime example of how this warfare against us is very psychological. Anything dealing with blackness is automatically deemed evil, while white is, basically good. White list good, black list bad. Even if you go into the store, if you in the cake section, you got the brown cake is devil cake, the white cake is angel cake. This stuff isn't by accident, bro. It's literally by design. And you know, with me, bro, I totally flipped the switch on this shit. Anything black is positive to me. So when I see a black cat in 2026, I'ma let it walk across me. It's good luck to me. That's what I live by. But in today's video, man, we're gonna be talking about how a lot of our ancient traditions as black folks, African mythology, hoodoo, voodoo, all of these things have been turned in a bad light. It's evil, witchcraft, it's demonic, it's this, is that. Why is that? We all know why. It's the same reason why in 2026 these people push black fatigue so much. They want to paint black people out to be so negative and so barbaric, so bad, so that if something ever goes down and these people want to harm us or attempt to get us up out of here, they have the proof because of black fatigue. You know what I'm saying? So with a lot of our older traditions and our religion, they put the title of it being demonic or evil so that it was justifiable to enslave us, to treat us the way they did. Even bringing back up the African mythology, why is it that these Greek gods, everybody praise them? We know Zeus, we know this, we know that. It's seen in a good light. But then you bring up African mythology and it's scary. I ain't touching that. Like, people are fucking brainwashed, dog. It's sad. And once again, I want to show you guys another example because when I point these things out, everybody be like, "Oh, bro, it's not that deep. You reaching, you race baiting, bro." Let me show y'all another example, dog. Look at this shit.
Okay, so Faux Schwartz newborn. Look at this baby. He's kind of cute. She's kind of cute. What is going on with the babies with melanin? Why do they have little scrunches on their faces making them look so angry? Look at this one. Why is it
Why that
so
motherfucker baby got
fun?
bags in her
They
eye?
did that baby dirty. Look, just look.
That baby worked a
Yeah,
12-hour shift before they motherfucking did a face scan of that baby. That bitch looked like that baby looked like me. Annoyed. That baby looked
yo,
like me.
yeah, it's just crazy. Yeah, it's just funny as hell. It's not funny, but it's funny though. Like they they do this all the time. Listen, I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but they're doing this whole thing because I play Marvel Rivals, right? This whole thing. Let me review this music. But on Marvel Rivals, there's been a whole campaign of like the hate that they have for black characters because all these characters are getting new outfits, new skins, all types of people. They give Storm a skin, right? Everybody, first of all, we got a couple couples in the game. You got Rogan Gambit, got Mr. and Miss Fantastic. Then you got, Storm and Black Panther. Everybody has like a wedding outfit, a wedding skin. They, I think, don't are the only ones that don't have like a wedding skin. And then they're the only ones that don't have like a legendary skin, like where you get the whole, MVP, all that type of chains up. Like they don't have that for these characters. So they release a Storm beach outfit, right? Which usually is a legendary, and they get a whole legendary skin. It has a whole its own MVP intro and exit, and little taunts and all that stuff that go along with it. No, they released hers as the only one that's just regular ass skin. So there was a whole riot on Discord for Rivals about how they're treating the black characters. So it's either you're completely ignoring black people or you're demonizing. That's how it kind of feels like in the world. And mind you, the people who make Marvel Rivals, they're a China company. So this is a global thing. The how black people, blackness is treated and looked at across the globe. is extremely, extremely. I just think it needs to be studied and exposed because there is a bias that's just the propaganda they've done to us, and our PR has been put through the mud for years, and it's
But
poisoning the
hasn't it
minds of
hasn't it
people.
been studied? Hasn't it been studied though?
I
And
think it
and
probably has. I'm just saying that as like a phrase,
no,
but
no, but so that's what I'm, but that's
but
what but
yeah,
that's what
we
but
can
that's
look
what
into it.
but that's why I was. That's why I'm asking. The fact that it has been studied and it's been ignored is something that I want to kind of like
Mm.
extrapolate on. You know what I'm saying? Because we are plus what 500 years since slavery, correct? Right. So the thought process of owning another person, right, is something that we've struggled to identify with this country. You know, the mere omission of,
Slavery was
we've
only
done some.
abolished 161 years ago.
See, so 161 years ago. So, and niggas were slaves how many years prior to that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so the ideology is what I'm saying is of who we are and what we represent, right? We are presented as just uh we're less than, like,
No, you're right. I
I
think
can't
that
even
the
articulate that. You're like,
I think
we're less
anti-black.
than.
Let me look something up. Because anti-blackness, I think, even predates slavery. It has to. We're talking about chattel slavery in the United States. Uh, yeah, so it's been around for centuries before the transatlantic slave trade. It's you know they've consistently, the ancient Greek and Romans writings occasionally contained derogatory tropes and aesthetics bias concerning dark skin. Though ancient slavery, though ancient slavery itself was structured around military conquest, debt, legal status, rather than a permanent racial ideology. Medieval Islamic world. As a trade and conquest expanded across North Africa and the Middle East, some medieval texts and popular attitudes began exhibiting ethnocentric prejudices against East Africans, the Zani, sometimes influenced by imported Aristotelian concepts of natural servitude or environmental determinism. However, slavery in these regions was multi ethnic, encompassing large numbers of European, Turkic, and Caucasian slaves alongside Africans. Now, the historians note that while isolated color prejudice or xenophobia predated the 1500s, modern anti black racism was systemically codified and institutionalized and scaled during transatlantic slave trade and European colonization of the Americas. So and then they started colonizing Africa too, just so y'all know, like to this till today, like there's a lot of European colonization of African, countries where they might say they have their independence, but it's only in like in name only, in a sense. Um, when it comes to the finances and how the things move and how what choices they get to make, a lot of it goes through France and Portugal and Spain and Italy and Denmark and Germany and the UK before they get to really make some real changes in some of these African countries to their policies and to grow their infrastructure. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Like I think that Nigeria has only had how many years of independence? Maybe 65, 60, 70. I mean, check that. So it takes a while for a country to grow, you know, from their independence. So right now they're very young. Let's be real.
And I mean, to kind of now extrapolate on your point, because while I know you want to get through the video,
Yeah,
just based on, you know the roots and the phases of the indoctrination from Christianity, again, being able to migrate through those gospel records to then be transcribed to
Wow.
then be passed through, like that's a lot that goes on through the travel of time before we actually get through to the real crux of how it is that we get to Black America, where it crosses over through the European countries and then brought to Africa, and then you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
there is a long lineage of this religion, and again, to that point, Christianity is one of the youngest religions,
Hmm.
right? So when we talk about how young, how long it takes for a country to grow, just think about how short of a time span it took for a religion to blast off. You know what I'm saying? For
Yeah.
it to then consume a, a pretty good chunk of the world's population. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that is something else. That's something that needs to be studied and talked about as well.
Yeah. And Nigeria has been independent for only 65 years.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of people on this earth that are way older than like the country
The,
Nigeria.
in the country of Nigeria. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, they still got work to do. Like, get me wrong, but it takes time for shit. America had to go through Revolutionary War before we really got shit going, and a Civil War. Let's be real, before things start to really change. So, Nigeria, man, good luck on the changes. I'm honestly, this October 1st will be the 66th anniversary for the independence. So, um, I do think that in the future, I'm sure, like maybe before, like long past I'm gone, Nigeria will finally change its way. I think that it just only takes it's just a matter of time before Nigeria finds its way as a key place for financial and political liberation. All right, so let's continue with the video.
This
Go ahead, bro.
baby is so cute. That baby over
Hey,
there
bro,
is.
it be small shit like this. I be telling y'all, man.
When your grandmother calls traditional practices demonic today, just know it's religious colonialism finishing its job. All across Africa, colonial authorities passed witchcraft ordinances, laws that didn't necessarily inflict physical harm, but targeted identity. Herbs to heal the sick, witchcraft. A priest performing a ritual his grandfather taught him, witchcraft.
Hey, I want to pause already too, but what we're seeing in 2026 is a lot of these white folks trying to live off the land, do natural remedies, use herbs. They want to ground, they want to get sunlight. They want to do all these things intuitively black people were doing, and they called us barbaric or uncivilized for doing.
It wasn't only the British. Islamic cultural influence carried the same undertones. Your music, your hair, your clothing, your spiritual practices, all reframed as impure, as kufa.
Yeah, and once again, a lot of people, they be like, hey, why do I target Christianity so much? I feel like this about any Abrahamic religion.
Mhm.
All of them. I use Christianity so much because it is the religion that was imposed on my people. And I don't want to hear the excuse of, oh, it was in Africa before, my nigga. It was in Ethiopia. Most of us black Americans are descendants of West Africans. So, yeah.
To be ashamed of. The goal was never just conversion, it was to make Africans unrecognizable to themselves. And the most effective part was that they didn't have to do it forever. Eventually, Africans started doing it to each other. Your grandmother doesn't need a colonial officer anymore. She became the enforcement.
Thankfully, I can say that my parents.
Before we get to him and his story, I just want to say that's exactly what happened to me a little bit. I mean, I'm not, I don't recognize myself as a Christian, but my my dad was Protestant, I believe. My mom was Catholic, but my mom grew up with my dad, with her dad, and her mother was a Jehovah Witness. So when her mother came over here to America, she joined the Jehovah Witness, and we would then have to have Bible studies with Jehovah Witness. We went to the Kingdom Hall here, and and we were kind of being pushed into that a little bit. I never really bit, because they knew we were a little bit different, and Jehovah Witness can sometimes feel like you're being forced to live a certain type of life. Um, and I mean, me, I asked questions. So when the little white girl came over to do Bible study, I had mad questions for her that she couldn't answer, you know, and I just couldn't, uh, I couldn't submit myself to any religion after that, like really. I was like, okay, I remember before my dad passed, I would ask him questions about religion that he couldn't answer, but he would read so many theology books and everything like that. My dad, I would love to have had a conversation with him because he was Protestant, but he was very involved and understood other ways of thinking, other practices, and was open to other religions as well and spiritual practices. Like he introduced me to like meditation and spiritual healing through chanting and just oral work and stuff like that. My dad introduced me to that stuff. So when I never really got to have the conversation as a grown man to him about how he really saw or coalesced his spirituality while he was taught something different. But yeah, man, my grandmother came from Nigeria, was super deep into Jehovah's Witnesses, and pushed that on us, too. So it gets to a point where, yeah, they don't have to do the pushing anymore because your family is going to teach you. And that's the same with I think with Christianity as well. You know, that's what a lot of people are saying, that it was taught to them by their parents, and it wasn't like something they found them per se. You know.
And the point of this conversation is, as we speak and we talk, the week starts with awakening, being awoke, right? Having some sort of mental breakthrough, spirituality breakthrough, emotional breakthrough. All of those things are connected to the word awakening, that we relate to it as. So, um, and I don't want to I don't want to misinterpret, because that's not what I'm here to do, or have an assertion of how the religion was taught to you. But when we speak about Christianity now, we now speak about denominations, right? We talk
Yeah,
about these branches. We talk about how it's taught, how it's interpreted, how it's then passed off, right? We speak about, in Texas itself, they're going to have them read the Ten Commandments. Am I not that's what they're
you're
doing
teaching
in
that in
Texas?
school.
Or
Yeah, yeah,
okay, so we got them teaching the Protestant
yeah.
Bible, right? We got
Give
them
me one second.
teaching the
I can be right back, but I'm hearing
no
you.
problem, brother.
I just gotta
No
grab
problem.
something.
They have them in Texas teaching the Protestant Bible, right? And to that point, we have a ton of Catholic practicing Christians in this world. Not let alone Texas. You know what I'm saying? So that's a law. So when we're now speaking about the division within the religion, right? Tachiti gave a little backstory to how he was indoctrinated into the religion. Um, it's a little bit, the same but different for me. I grew up um originally in Buffalo, New York. So I grew up in upstate New York, kind of same as Chidi, and how the Bible was taught and how Christianity was taught to me, how I received it, how I grew up, how I was introduced into it. I saw women preaching. I saw women in the pulpit. I saw women leading the ministry, right? So, uh, and to me, that was normalcy. Shout out to Pastor Jean Young, Pastor Auntie Jean. You know what I'm saying? She became pastor after
Your
Pastor
mic's a bit
Simmons
low, just
passed
so you
away.
know. But I've been listening to you
Oh,
the entire time.
my mic's low. Okay, my bad. I'm speaking a little low. I can get a little bit up on it. My bad. Um, so I grew up in a religion where I grew up in a religion where I was introduced to women leading the ministry, being in the pulpit, being pastors, wearing pantsuits, right? By the time I move south or southern in America, right, the way that the religion was taught and the way that they have beliefs and the traditions and the culture of southern culture within the culture of Christianity and how they interpret the Bible, women don't lead, women on the pulpit, women don't wear
Yeah,
pantsuits, You see what I'm saying? So from how I was, again, something that was normal to me, and something
It's totally different, and then
I
in the same
learned by
country,
the
just
time,
different
same
areas,
same country, different area, same Bible. We
same
both reading
Bible.
the same King James version. They don't switch Bibles from Buffalo to Birmingham, but how it's interpreted, how it's then taught,
Practice,
right?
yeah, and
Practice, you know,
the traditions of who can do what is it's the same. So even within the same sect, same Bible, people in different places have different practices and different interpretations. So then you, as a young kid, I'm sure that was confusing to you, where you're like, wait a minute,
So
why?
I'm 13, 14, 15. I'm impressionable, right? I'm now the information that is being downloaded is now implemented. It's applicable. You see what I'm saying? So now again, I'm now with don't get me wrong, no disrespect. I don't want to take the conversation another way, but in the South culture, how how the dynamic between men and women is different,
Yeah, exactly.
right? So I'm now growing up and being taught that women have a place.
Yeah,
You see what I'm
yeah,
saying? So,
yeah.
not trying to go there,
A
not trying to
very
disrespect,
specific.
but a very specific subsidiary place and
Uh-huh.
how they serve. They're very subservient. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so growing up, along with the music that I listen to, because now we're talking about as an adolescent, rebellious, not to the book of Christianity, the music that I listen to now also speaks to women a certain type of way. So I'm getting it both ways of how
Mm,
I'm supposed to treat a woman, how I'm supposed to talk to a woman, how a woman's supposed to revere me. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's and that's just in our culture.
yeah.
That's in our culture, and now that's expanded because now we got white pastors and white first ladies in white churches that also practice the same subserviary role. We also have
Mm-hmm.
the serving the plate to our man in the South with the Southern fried chicken and every. We have that's a culture now. It's not black
See,
culture; it's American
just
culture.
just
You know what I'm
American
saying?
culture, and that's where
Exactly.
the whole like woman's place being submissive comes from, and you know, and then you have people who are in the city like me. I grew up in an era where go to the club and you might just get cursed out from a chick and then still next day be cool with the girl and then still take her on a date but she got a job and maybe you don't like just like New York over here is just different. I remember I went to West Coast. They were
Bro,
like
your
you over there
family is that strong, black, independent. What the fuck you say to me? Type women, you know what I'm
yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like
for sure. Yeah, they
you
ain't pulling
not
no
get
shit on
you.
them. Yeah,
Ain't
yeah.
no subservient shit going on over
Yeah,
here.
don't get me wrong. Like, I think in Nigerian culture, women are very subservient too. But I think there's a level of respect that we have to give them.
Now,
That
can
it
you
doesn't
speak to
matter.
the difference of that, if you can, between if the difference, if you can or have the knowledge to the women in Nigerian culture and then the women in American culture, and how that is how the interpretation of how, again,
There,
women do
listen,
what.
Nigerians are misogynistic as well. Like
Okay,
Nigerians can be
okay, okay,
misogynistic.
okay,
However, Nigerian women are very bold,
okay.
and Nigerian people are very bold. Nigerian people are very blunt. So you take a Nigerian culture and you bring it to America, where let's be real, America has a lot of shit that's unsaid. A lot of things are unspoken about this country. Like in Nigeria, if somebody
The
comes around,
boldness can, and it can enhance you though, right? Can that
yeah,
give you a
exactly.
certain?
So
Okay,
you
okay,
have a
okay.
Nigerian culture where if somebody who's walking around fat, you can say, "Hey, you're fat," just flat out, and it doesn't seem like to them it's not disrespectful. It's like, hey, it's true. Like, like that's what it is. America, that's extremely
True.
it's
That's
disrespectful. They're
crazy.
like, are you not fat? Like, hey, like what's going on? Like, she's fat. Like we can talk. Like, it's almost like the radar is completely off the radar. Like they can't, And my mom does it to me all the time. Like when I start gaining weight, so oh, you're getting fat. Like I'm like, mom, you are body shaming me. But then I'm like, I feel like a bitch because I'm saying being body
Your
shamed.
body.
I I'd be like, yo, like, but that's an American term, body shaming. My mom just called me fat. She's like, no, you're getting fat. That's it. And that's how it is with Nigerians. But I think you take the Nigerian culture and bring it over here to America, we come off as a little bit more bold. I know that the way that I learned. Here's the thing. I didn't really learn, but just who I am as a person, I've always been more blunt than my friends. I've always been more maybe, and mind you, I was worse than before I met you, before I even went to Florida. I was way worse in how I talked to women too. But it wasn't like I was very sweet to women, don't get me wrong, but I'm a blunt guy. Like I would say things that maybe I shouldn't say. And I always say things bluntly. Like there's certain things I would say like, yeah, it is what it is. That's what I say the
And
facts
I would
that may
I would give you that look, and I'm like, maybe we could have said it a different way.
exactly,
Maybe we could say abolish police a different way.
Yeah, and I'm grown to like, all right, okay, the delivery matters. How even though what I'm saying is true, I didn't get it for the longest time of what I said was right. Like, does it matter how I said? Like, if it's right, then why can't we now fix it and move forward? That's how my mind was. So I think that's kind of how, so even in the club, if like, I'm not a guy who talks to all the girls. I'm a sniper. I talk to the girl that I want. And if it doesn't work with her, I'll have fun that night and go home. But I'll go back to the club and I'll find the one that I want. But I'm telling her, hey, I want you. Like, I don't really play this, oh, let me just talk to you, see how you feel, what's going on. Like, I just say, listen, I want you. Like, that's how my game was. It wasn't, my game was never,
I'm only coming to this club tonight. I won't see you tomorrow. Maybe in the morning when I
mhm.
send you away. I need you tonight, girl. I
Yo,
need you
that's my
tonight.
game. My game is not this smooth talker type shit. My game was even blunt. So because I didn't know how to do it the other way. Because I'm not a finesse dude. Like I'm not that smooth. I'm more of a blunt guy. So if either I'm 100% shot or zero. Like it's either gonna
This nigga
work all
is
the way
this nigga
or it's
is
not.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, nigga. I am straight downhill dunking, nigga. That is it,
Exactly.
nigga.
I'm dunking or
I might have a little euro, I might have a little
uh-huh.
spin, but nigga, I'm not gonna be doing no dribbling,
I'm
bitch.
not doing all that. Nah, like I always say, listen, like when we do the podcast, you're more rhythm. I'm more, just force. Like that's why I love football. You love basketball. There's a certain rhythm to basketball, but football, I get it. Go straight, hit the hole, go. Like it's very straightforward. So that's how my mind is. I'm not sure if that plays into my culture and how they move, but that's where I'm going with it. And I think that to some degree the women are the same way. Because if the women see the man and they're not doing what they need to do, they're gonna fucking do it. They're not waiting for no man to say, hey, you're allowed to now take the reins and do this so we can do better. No, they're going to tell them, you're not doing your job. Like that's just how it's always been. Even in Nigeria, they'll tell them like you look at you, you're not doing nothing because we're so straightforward over there, But and that creates a culture where the men have to fucking step up. The men they can act like oh the woman, hot knows her place. But when the woman is bringing all the money in and doing all the work, then it gets to a point where you're like, oh well, the woman has the power, and they can do what they want. So they get to talk how they want. They get to talk how they want it, and then they bring that same person over here to America, and that mentality of working hard and then saying things bluntly. You get a culture of women that are not taking no bullshit, that are kind of very much face forward, which could cause problems in the American dating pool, honestly, because men don't take easy to that. They don't like, they don't. Yeah.
That is very hard. And now again, when we're tying things together, when we're blending things together about I need me a good, sophisticated American, submissive woman. Women right now, this day and age, looking around like, well, where that bitch at? Cause shit, I might want to fuck her too. You know what I'm saying? Like
True.
it's true, nigga. Like
True. True.
it's because again, the ideology, right? We talk about women that want to be in the soft girl era. That comes from a place of they want a level of mental relaxation, right?
They
Or
want to be
mental
safe.
ease. Yeah, safe.
They want to feel safe. Yeah,
That
they want to feel
softcore era comes from
reassured. You know.
and also, it's not just the men pay for everything type of situation. It's the fact that you can provide when it's needed to, right?
Uh,
And that also is rooted
and
into the
also providing
masculinity of
them comfort. So like, even if it's not like, okay, I can provide money monetarily, which obviously in America, a lot of the times it is monetarily because it's just the way the world is capitalism here. But also if it's like, hey, let me go and take like like you'll take the kids, you go take a nap, or let me handle the kitchen, to wash the dishes up, so when she wakes up, there's nothing she has to do. Like those things really do provide comfort to your lady, where they can be softer, they can be chill, they can be late. Let's let our woman be lazy for a day. Like, you don't have to work today. Like, just chill out, go get your nails and like those kind of things, and be treated like the princess and queens that we want to treat them. A lot of times life makes it hard for us to do that. But I know we're going off to being path, but I think that it speaks to
No,
um,
I think that speaks to the culture, right? That
yeah,
that
the
that
culture.
goes that speaks to that does speak to our that speaks to, again, as a black man, right? The masculinity of the black man, the vulnerability of a black man, right? It's all rooted in how we're raised, and how we're raised also is kind of brought on to the religion that we're raised from. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do have a lot of people who practice in the Muslim culture. That's also built based on, from the male's point of view, very masculine religion. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of these things are based in a time or in a situation where the restrictions or the availability to resources for women were capped through the interpretation of the text, right? I actually have just a little
Exactly.
bit. There's a text in the Bible, First Timothy chapter 2, verse 12. It says, "I do not permit a woman to teach or to assume authority over a man." That is something that will be seen as a law, right? That is something that will be seen because it's in the Bible. People will act on that and then oppress women because of that, right? And as
Yeah.
a black man, as a black preacher, or a person that's within the congregation, as a black man, you'll go home, you learn that, you teach that at home, and now
Uh,
we have a
and it's not just
generation
you
of
teaching it
that.
now. You're teaching it, but it's like it's God that says this. So it's like you have the
On
backing
me,
of something higher
on
power
me,
to
on
telling your
me.
woman that
Yep.
she has to hold her place when you
Yep.
do whatever thing that might be right or
First,
wrong. You know.
First Corinthians chapter 14, verse 34. Women should remain silent in the churches. That goes back to women not
Mm,
being able to preach, women not being able to hold, again, authority over men. So she cannot be a preacher. She can't lead the ministry. You see what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like, that stuff right there. And then when you see, that's the division. When you see another church doing something that you interpret to be wrong, that's not God, right? So now we got infighting within the religion, kind of like we
Yeah.
have infighting with what we have in the culture. You know what I'm saying? So those things
Exactly,
go hand in
and
hand.
and, and it'd be something the most menial things too, because people have been taught this in doctrine since birth, like or since church or whatever, you know. But let's continue with the video, because he makes some great points on his journey and how he looks at things.
Didn't enforce any of that bullshit onto us. None of that colonization shit. It's crazy because my mom and dad, they grew up heavily into the church, but they didn't make me or any of my other siblings, go down that same path. And like I said, I'm thankful for that, because even at an early age, I would just question shit. You know what I'm saying? I would think about Christianity like, if God is like this big, all-knowing, powerful entity, why can't he just make the world peaches and sunshine? Why can't he just kill the devil? You know what I'm saying? Like that was like in the back of my mind. I would ask myself these questions. Better question is like, why would the devil punish me for disobeying his op? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I break it down like that. It's like a lot of shit don't make sense. And once you get into slavery and you get into the ways these people implemented it onto us, it just makes sense that it was all about control. The slave master wanted his slave to be obedient. He didn't want him to have any type of freedom. He did not want the best for him. So why would he give him something that would free him? Slaves weren't allowed to read, they weren't allowed to write, yet they were given a Bible. And to make it even worse is like, why would these people want us in their heaven, their paradise, when they barely could stand us on earth? Nothing about it ever made sense to me.
You ever stop to think how everything dark is always
Actually,
bad?
me.
Dark times, dark magic, dark humor, the dark ages. But then light, that's good, right? That's holy, that's pure. Who decided that? Because that wasn't language, that was conditioning. And it's one of the oldest lies that empire ever told. Before colonization, darkness wasn't evil. It was divine. In African cosmologies, darkness was the beginning. In Kemet, ancient Egypt, Kemet literally meant black land, named for the fertile soil that gave life. In Yoruba belief, creation began in darkness, where the divine shaped the world from water and clay. In the Dogon tradition, the blackness of the universe wasn't absence, it was potential. Darkness was the womb, the resting place, the sacred unknown. It wasn't something to fear, it was something to honor. Then Europe needed an enemy, of course. Not just on the battlefield, but in imagination. So
Just want to quick say, actually, no, I want to let her finish. Then I want to say something.
they rebranded darkness itself. Christian translators started pairing light with God, with goodness, with salvation, and darkness with sin, evil, and the devil. Artists painted angels in gold and demons in shadows. Writers called the medieval era the Dark Ages, as if nothing of value existed outside of their version of light. It wasn't just about color, it was about control. Because if light meant holy and white meant light, then black and everyone who looked like it could be cast as the opposite. That's how racism got spiritualized before it was ever legalized. And the language stuck. I'm guilty. We still say blacklist, black male, dark forces, dark money. And we use light to mean truth.
Yep.
And dark to mean deception.
Hey, I got a theory too, bro. You know what I'm saying? This kind of on my conspiracy shit. Y'all know I'm a conspiracy nut, but I like to have evidence for things, but I still do love me conspiracies. Y'all know how they say, when people pass away, they see the light and they go towards the light. I think you don't supposed to go towards that light. You know what I'm saying? I think you're supposed to run away from the light. And it makes sense, okay?
Without realizing that we're repeating propaganda from the 1400s. That lie got baked into everything. Art, religion, politics, skin. It's why colonial missionaries could call Africa the dark continent, not because it lacked light, but because they couldn't see its humanity. Words aren't harmless. They build worlds. So when people say dark like it's bad, they're not describing reality. They're revealing what they were taught to fear. Because darkness isn't evil. It's the soil that births life. It's the night that heals what the day burned. It's the color of the cosmos before creation took form. Darkness is where everything begins and everything returns. So maybe the question isn't why is dark bad? Maybe it's who benefits when it is.
Yep.
Yeah, so I was gonna say also.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, listen, the dark is scary, period. You know, there's something about human nature that makes darkness scary. I think it's like fear of the unknown. You know, when you have light, you can see. I mean, if I turn off all the lights in my room, I'm in the darkness, right? I don't know where the table is. I can bump into the table. I can
I
trip
was
over the
just about to
chair.
use that. I was just about to use that analogy. I'm like, it's hard, Miss Ashley B, to tell my kid not to be afraid of the dark because
Yeah,
they can't see. It's hard to
yeah,
see in the dark. Yeah.
exactly. But it doesn't mean that it should be feared. You know, I think that a lot of times with like with the cavemen, you know, when it became nighttime, you go into the cave, you light a fire, and oh my God, the fire provides warmth, the fire provides light, and I could see my family, I could see my food, you know, I'm safe. That's what you feel. But out there, I can get eaten by a bear, you know, whatever, a lion, whatever is, you know, out there is danger because we don't know what's out there. And that's ingrained into the spirit of humans and just human nature, I believe. So then we take those connotations and we turn it into, like, you know, we put meaning onto it spiritually. What were you gonna say?
No, I was yelling at the dogs. I have muted
Oh,
myself.
okay. But yeah, we put meanings on it spiritually, and that then extends for decades and centuries, then millennia, and we get to a place where we also then take those spiritual meanings and put it onto our skin tones and color, and we then say, oh well, and it's a through line between your fear of it, because let's say that we Africans expanded, created the world, we then migrated, for thousands of millennia. We now have white Caucasians who are now lighter skinned, who have never seen a darker skinned complexion person after after we've grown and we've changed over so many years. After we used to be a Pangea, that's the word. We used to all be connected on one solid form of land. After time, divided us, and now we have different continents. But before that, but after that, there's gonna be decades and millennia where of just one color of people in one area before they almost got to discover each other, and almost when they start to rediscover each other, they don't notice that they've all existed in the first place on the same land called Africa. Well, at the time it wasn't Africa because now we call it Africa, but now there's been years and years and years of what's the word? Not evolution, but um, adaptation to your environment. You don't need as much melanin because you're not in the sun as much in Europe. So your body, all for time is more light, and that those genes get passed down. And then you go to Asia, and those genes get passed down over there, and you got the Native Americans and all that stuff. But those all came from the same place, which I do believe was Africa, where we were dark-skinned people. But when those descendants have never seen a dark skinned person, and they've been all afraid of the dark their whole life in the caves, and they're now they're looking at a dark skinned person, and they're like, they are a human being just like me. They're not some animal, but I don't know their intentions. Just like the darkness I see or that I was afraid of as a child. So I'm not trying to put no excuses on anybody, but I do want to act like that there isn't a biological reason to be afraid of darkness. However, it's illogical when it comes to people's skin tone at this point, and their and where they come from, and their their heritage, their traditions, their lineage, all that stuff. So putting that onto black people, I think, is now it's like almost an intentional ignorance.
I'm sorry, I was looking up something. I was
Oh, shout out to Collab. She said he posted our stuff to Discords. He's in. I
oh what
appreciate you.
oh my guy, what's up, bro? Appreciate you, man. Um, I was I was looking up right now, based on the conversation that we're speaking about. Um, Also based off the information that Ashley B just gave us through the video that we're watching. I, I'm I'm trying to figure out the connection or the lost link between Greek to Latin to English of the interpretation of the writings, right? Because I can understand scribing, right? And I can understand getting lost in translation, right? But to be able to indoctrinate a people through colonial colonialism via religion, right? It's losing me because back to this the African spirituality. How does that not live through the pass down? How does that not? I
Well,
get I guess it's broken through the slave trade. I'm assuming, right,
yeah, it's
where
partially
it
It's
gets
it's
that.
there's first of all, I think that when it comes to any religion or spirituality, no one believes all of it, even if it was, taught African spirituality. I'm sure that when you can't see it, it's hard to believe. Seeing is believing. So even with the African traditions, there were people who were doubters of what they were teaching. However, when you have people saying, "Hey, listen, we're going to trade with you and give you these things along with this book that's the truth of what's going on, and we're going to act, we're going to sit here and guide you in the truths of the world and teach you to speak like us and teach you to pray like us." But they also have a whole table full of bread that you can eat as well. Over time, it becomes like, is this the truth? Is this the way to go? Is this honest? And it starts to feel like this is the path to um, salvation, a sense, and survival. So I think that's partially it. I don't think the warlords and kings and queens bought into Christianity as much, but I do think that over time the public did, and with the Crusades and all that stuff. And not to be quite honest with you, they killed people that didn't believe. Let's be real. They killed the people that didn't believe. So if you didn't believe on some levels, they would kill you. And then there's still, so through threat and coercion, they made Christianity a worldwide religion because they truly believe in it. Christianity, to me, is probably the biggest cult in the world. You know, um, because it's all over my TV. It's all over. It doesn't matter who I talk to. They, they could be the greatest person in the world, but they pray to Jesus. Not that he didn't exist or anything, but that's never vibed with me personally. Like I think that why am I not equal to Jesus? Like, aren't we all God's sons? But there's something magical about that story where he's better than us. Like, so, and I get it. What I'm saying is blasphemy to some people, but just even questioning this, I get that. But I don't ascribe to that. I think that I can learn a lot from Jesus. I look up to the stories that I hear from that, and I'm like, oh, wow, that teach me how to be a better human being. But
So do you? Let me ask you something real quick. Do you believe in a supreme being? Do you believe? Do you subscribe to a supreme being? Do you subscribe to someone being a prophet?
I I don't subscribe to that quite the way that it's taught. I think that in all religions, it's very much taught to be very paternal. There's some man in the sky, where we all born from a woman. Like we were all came from a womb of a woman.
Oh, this nigga
You know,
here cooking, nigga. I'm about to mute up, nigga.
So it just never made it always seemed to me like a way to control people. Like, oh, we gotta make sure that it's a man that's punishing you if you don't do what he wants you to do. When I'm like, why would you create us to punish us? Why would you create us to punish us and test us? And then why am I paying for the sins of some other group of people that lived a long time ago that ate a fruit that I had nothing to do with, and then put sin in all of us? Now we are now trying to like fix our live our whole lives in like retribution for that sin of eating the fruit. It never vibe with me. I just think that when it comes to me, I'm more spiritual, I've always been. Like I honestly, at one point, I was more atheist or agnostic, even more like agnostic, because I was like, I believe that we're all here for a reason, but we just don't know, and we're not meant to know. That's what I would say all the time. We were all here. Something made it here. I'm not saying if it was an entity or a energy or what, but there's something more to this than meets the eye. But I can't put a name on it because we're not meant to know it. Like so. Let's live our lives and try to be the best people we can be. You know. Um, I don't believe that when you die you get 70 virgins either. Like, so I can't go to Islam and be like, yeah, that's what I believe, you
Yeah,
know?
on my soul, I don't want 70 virgins. That's not fun at all.
Yeah. I think that a lot of this is old scripture that's been taught to make us feel
A lot of
like, like, and mind you, a lot of it appeals to the basis of our primal things is to eat, sleep, fuck, like that's all. Like if you read the Bibles, a
If we
lot of
go,
that
yeah,
shit.
if we go to heaven, the streets is paved with gold. You know what I'm saying? Like shit, why not make that here right now? Why
Yeah,
can't you see that right now?
yeah. So that's what I always felt like, and I feel like the question that I in my spirit, I can't say
Yo,
Jesus was
yo,
the way.
collapse is killing the chat, bro. The collapse is killing the chat, bro. Yo, the nigga said even if God was real, he's a sick psychopath. The book of Job is all you need to read.
Oh my goodness.
Yo,
Yo, I'm gonna try to find a plugin where I can
yo,
get your chats to appear on screen because I really need to figure that out. But yo, that's crazy. That's funny as hell, yo. Half of
yo.
them are
And
starfishes.
honestly, if you have you read the you know you we've all read the book of Job, right? We know the book of Job, and for those
I have,
who
but I
the quick
forgot it because
the
I
quick
mean,
run- the quick rundown of the book of Job is
patience. She
God
tortured
took
he
everything.
tortured him.
He tortured him. He took
Yeah.
everything. Killed his kids. Took his land. Took his house. Took everything from him. And the wife was like, "You dumb fuck, just curse God." And he was like, "No, man, my faith in God, man. I know He gonna bless me." And the story is told that God blessed him 100-fold or something like that, 10-fold or some shit like that. I ain't gonna hold you. If I had one kid, don't give me 100 kids. That's 100-fold. You know what I'm saying? God, if you fuck with me and you know my heart,
The
and you know, right? And that's what they tell me. God
blessing
know my
becomes a
heart.
curse.
Oh, my mama, nigga, don't give me 100 kids, nigga.
I give you 100 of them. Nah, like
Nigga, we
it, it,
talking.
it's it gets crazy when you really think about it. Like it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And everybody wants to like make me do mental gymnastics, be like, oh well, you're not interpreting it the right way. Well, why am I supposed to like just do all this crazy mental gymnastics to make it make
Back to the
sense?
point. Back to the point of interpreted how. Right, we both were upstate New York kids, and how it
Hmm.
was taught is different from my black ass down in the South, nigga, in Alabama, where they said, "Nigga, if your bitch wear pants, she don't respect you. She a dyke." Like, you know what I mean? Like that type of shit they're talking about. You know what I mean? Like she
Yeah.
got to wear the skirt down to her that cover her toes and shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
and now you are real impure in church because you know how hard you gotta use your men shallow hal glasses to look through a denim jean skirt that's covering the bitch heels to see if she fine or not, nigga. You not learning the religion? You trying to see if this bitch over here got anything worth looking at with this damn jeans?
Oh man. And the funny thing about it, the church woman, a lot of them were the most freakiest chicks that I knew in the
Oh
community.
my mama!
You
I'm in
know?
the basement trying to get finger banging. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like it always was hypocrisy for me. Like, the ones that I saw, it just was a much, and I don't, and you know me, like I don't like hypocrisy. Like it's like a ick for me. Like I genuinely don't like niggas who are hypocrites. And I'm not saying that I from time to time can't be a hypocrite in my own right. I don't, but I try my best to not be overtly hypocritical in my main beliefs about people in life. I try to live with a code of honor to some degree to be
Which is why
consistent.
my nigga is on my ass every time I slip up and tell this nigga I went to Walmart.
Exactly. Listen,
That's why my
listen.
nigga's on my ass,
Listen,
boy.
hey, we know better. I'm just saying that we know better. But you know, let's watch the rest of the video and then we'll continue. But yeah,
Taught us to fear the dark, when the truth is, we came from it.
She cooking. She always cook, matter of fact. Shout out to Ashley. I gotta make sure y'all check out her TikTok page. But yeah, man, like I state, I need everybody to wake up and stop being so brainwashed. And the same people that deem everything demonic. It's like, how can we take anything from a lot of these people? Their descendants used to lynch our ancestors, then take pictures in front of those bodies, pick off body parts, keep them, and then go to church that next Sunday. And they want to call something demonic? What's up with y'all, bro? I genuinely can't. I can't understand that shit, bro. That's just my logic, man. And what you gotta understand is like you cannot be a critical thinker and be a religious person. You just cannot, because you will have so many questions and you will answer them yourself. You be like, hold up, damn, that's true. Damn, that's right. You know what I'm saying? Even the fact that churches littered all through the hoods, everywhere, even in Africa where they're struggling, there's churches everywhere. But it's clearly, bro, it's like I say, I think it's time for us to truly move past religion. And I'm not saying you gotta be spiritual. You do just take action yourself. Nobody is coming to save us. Nobody saved us. We saved ourselves. No big man is looking down, changing shit. If he would, so much of the evil and dysfunction wouldn't be going on in this world right now. And that is my problem with Christianity. Y'all have to either admit that God has involvement in this world or he don't. And if he has involvement in this world, why does he pick and choose?
Yep.
That's my only question. But no more talking. If you guys want to see something similar to
Listen, shout out to Antonio. He got Antonio Speaks. He has Antonio Talks. Check out his channels on YouTube. He does a great work. But yeah, I always talk about like God, like we gotta be super perfect for God to take us to heaven. But God has done so much fucked up shit. He has no accountability for it. He just started all over. He just like, oh, we're just gonna wipe people away, kill them all. Let's just start all over with a whole flood, you know. And then the whole Moses thing didn't make no damn sense either. I can't hear you muted.
I'm sorry. You said Moses or Noah?
No, both of them honestly, but Noah, I met Noah. Yeah.
Okay, so you don't fuck with you don't fuck with the story.
I love the stories. The stories are great. I love the stories of Jesus. I love all the stories there. But just like I love the story of the tortoise and the hare, the mouse and the lion. I love those stories too. They taught me something, about how I should look at things and have faith. I believe in faith. I believe in energy. I believe in spirituality in a way that there is more to what we see. Absolutely. And that's all I could say, but I do preach to I do pray. I do pray to my ancestors and I do pray to God. But I always say, listen, I don't know what's out there. When I pray, I'm like, listen, I don't know what entity is out there. I pray to my ancestors. I pray to my spirit guides. I pray to the creator or whatever creator, and I pray to the universe because whatever entities are out there, I do think hear me. I don't know if it's like a entity that like can make a whole bunch of change or just can whisper in the wind and give me some guidance. I don't know what it is, but I do believe in that faith. Or maybe it's just a practice that I trick myself into that helps me cope. I don't know, but to me it works for my experience here on Earth. So I do pray, and I just don't know the full scope of what's reality because I have only this life to live and understand. So while I'm doing that, I can do the best as I am in this form to understand what I can, but I'm not going to sit here and take a book of interpretations of some other man's interpretation on this experience and say that that's gospel. I can't do that because it's done so much to harm the people that look like me, and so, and not just people that look like me, but people across the globe. Religion, honestly, is one of the biggest reasons, if not most of the reasons, for genocides. So look at what's going on in Palestine, and in Israel. So that's an ethno state in Israel, and they can't even accept people who don't believe in their religion at all, and they're in their country. So how are we going to get past that? How are you going to treat them? How are you going to have an apartheid state? And withhold food and resources to people who don't believe what you believe, just because and you want going to force them on them or kill them. That's sick to me. That's not godly. That's not humane. So I can't join in on any type of religion to co-sign. So I just leave it at that. I can't, and I don't have all the answers. I'll sit here and tell you I don't. But I'll say this: I try to be a good person, and I try to um, have some faith in the future.
So I mean, with that being kind of like something that you're leaving off of, one of y'all need to add me on the Discord or something so I can get you invites to these communities, and y'all can network and promote your show.
For sure, for
Bet,
sure.
man,
Thank you, man.
absolutely, absolutely. My man Chidi is our technological guy. He'll get our Discord up and running
We're gonna get the
we'll have.
Discord up and running this weekend. But we can
Well,
add you as private chat for sure if you want to add them to. Is it? You said it's collapsed though. Like just drop it in here. I'll add you right now.
yeah,
And
he said collapsism same name is the same name is the
collapse,
same name on Discord.
collapse. Okay, got it. I'm gonna go ahead and just add you as a friend on Discord. And Chris, you
Come
should do the
on.
same. Honestly,
All right, bet.
I'll
I'll
send
go
you a
ahead and
DM.
grab that name right now. I think right now with this conversation and where we wanted to take it is how now Christianity um creates black culture, right? How it now then black American culture, I would say, and those who have migrated into the country that identify with the again the melanin within the skin, and then now indoctrinate themselves within the religion. Because I don't want to disrespect and say there's not African Islamic people that's practicing, because that's not fair to say, but within American culture, to your point, most people fall into the denomination of one of the Christianities, whether they practice Catholic or whether they're a Protestant. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, um, how then now do you see the black culture um, getting themselves, or Black American culture getting themselves out of the woodworks, so to speak? Like, how do you, or what do you see is something that can be a catapult um, event that will bring us some sort of epiphany about religion and how it really holds us back? It's a harness.
Um,
Religion is a harness in a way.
I think we're cooked. I'll be honest with you. I don't, no, I wouldn't. I'm gonna be real. If I'm being real, I don't think religion is a bad thing. I think that this experience called life is hard for a lot of people, and it needs something to believe in, or else a lot of people just fucking jump off a bridge. Um, I believe that it helps people get through this life thing called life, and we're not all blessed with family that are millionaires and billionaires, that we have opportunities in the world and like connections and all that stuff. So a lot of us are living tough lives, or we have to get it out the mud, right, and figure it all out. So
Right. Right.
um, I believe that for those people, I believe that it comes to a point where you might need something to get through this experience, and it might make you a better person, whether you are a reformed alcoholic, a drug addict, whether you have just come out of jail or you're in jail and you need something to just give you that hope to get through your term, your sentence. um if you're in a tough place, if you're a freaking kidnapped, or even a war, um a war, if if you're a war, what you call it, a war kidnap,
A
um
POV, a prisoner of war.
a prisoner of war, or something like that. These are the
Prisoner of
things
war.
that I believe where religion comes in, and it gives them something to strive for, to reach for, to hold on to, and move beyond where their current circumstances are. Some people come out of broken homes and they find religion, and it helps them change their lives. And my true feelings are, not everybody's path is meant for Christianity, and that's okay. Not everybody's path is meant for religion even, and that's okay. But some people's path is meant for Islam, some Judaism, some Buddhism, some just like me are non-denomination, and I'm just kind of just a spiritualist to some degree, because I do meditate, I do believe in energy work practices, and but I'm not blind to the fact that religion can help people and really help them live a better, more fulfilling life, and that's what matters, you know. So the truth of the matter is, I don't want religion to just completely disappear from Earth for people or the Black community, but I want people to be more conscious about how they interpret their religion. Really, I don't want people to be more conscious about how they treat other people of different, you know, genders or sexualities or races, because I know there's a lot of people who teach racist practice in their religion. Um, and I would just pray that that's where the path is going forward for people of different religions, because and understanding that for us to work, understanding, like I always say on this podcast, I'm going to say it probably forever, none of us, for all we know, chose to be born here on this earth. So we're given this experience on earth, and it should be treated as a gift. As a bare minimum, people should have a reverence and a true, honest respect for human life. The fact that you even exist, you deserve respect. Meaning, any choices that you make that go against another person's human life existing, like people saying let's cut people off Medicaid or Medicare, or let's cut cancer research, or making these decisions to go to war and kill people, those should not be made so frivolously if you're truly a religious person, or if you're truly trying to experience this thing called life from a standpoint of somebody who's trying to do his best. And that takes a lot of accountability. It takes a lot of ownership of how do I think, what do I think is best from the standpoint of having respect for this experience on earth that we all have. I can't just make a whole data center if it poisons the water of the people down the street, and kids are going to end up getting lead in their water and, you know, getting birth defects. That if you value human life, you start to think differently than let me just make this money. You know, so it's going to take an awakening out of the indoctrination of one, chasing the dollar and capitalism, and truly finding the essence of let's making this experience on earth better for most people, better for the people that are on this planet. So I don't think that the path forward is getting rid of religion, or because people are too indoctrinated. They're literally, some are sycophants. They're just, there's nothing you could tell them that's going to tell you. Like I said, if I say, hey man, I'm not sure if Jesus existed, they would say I'm saying blasphemy and saying I don't deserve to live. You know, so these are the people that I just, you know, you can't change. But what you can do is say, listen, I believe in the right for you to believe what you want to believe. But can we both agree that people shouldn't be dying for no reason? And if we can get there, at least where multiple religions can talk to each other and have say, listen, respect your ways of living without me trying to change who you are, and let's work together to better societies. That's the future.
And I think that is, without a shadow of a doubt, that is peace, right? And I just want to, because I would have loved to end on such a positive note, but I just want people to understand, again, to tie in where we're coming from. People utilized a religion, Christianity, to perpetuate uh, phrasing, interpretation, folklore, if you will, to disparage darkness, right? And everything that is involved with darkness. So, as we are also talking about how the people of the Caucasus Mountain were created or cast aspersions of, again, people of melanin descent, right? You know, when that happens, there is real deep rooted psychological aspects behind this. Now, when you just mentioned, and that's why I didn't want to end without extrapolate on it. When you mentioned the political aspect of this, that is where this shit blast off into a stratosphere that we cannot contain at this moment, right? I think that's where, when you say you feel like that we're beyond uh getting ourselves away from this, I do believe that the political stance of how Christianity has sank its teeth into not only American culture but world culture, right?
Yeah.
Global culture of how it is then now.
A lot of evil people hide behind the religion.
Yes,
They use it to do
yes,
evil things.
yes,
And in the
yes,
name of God, they kill. In
yes,
the name of God, they
yes,
poison. They lay
yes.
down. They manipulate. Collapse. I really fuck with what you just said. You said you don't need God to love and enjoy life. You said you live for the experiences and love you get from the people you care about. And your moral decisions are based on causing the least amount of harm. And I fucking love that because I feel the same exact way. I truly try to live through that perspective. I'm not familiar with egotistical altruism. I would love to look into that myself.
No,
And
but
yes,
American evangelism. Damn,
evangelical.
yes,
Evangelicalism.
evangelicalism. I was trying to say the other word without all the extra. But
Evangelism, yeah.
when you're, yes, yes, yeah, you know where I was going. Yes, yes. That is. Let me see. When did that take place? When 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 did that as a religion, like when did that boom? That's kind of what I want to ask.
American evangelicalism, like just making white people
Yes,
like the freaking center of
yes,
the earth
yes,
and
yes,
making them the
yes,
angels and
yes, yes,
the police of the world. I don't
yes.
know. I would love to know that as well. But yeah, you're right. It's rooted in white supremacy, and a lot of it's like almost deifying themselves. We are right, so we are the ones that are chosen to be this. And look at even Judaism and the Zionists in Israel who are like, yo, we need we from the land to the sea, we are destined, we are the chosen ones to get this land. Like they use religion to do really fucked up
You know,
shit.
is literally the crosswords. It's the crosshairs, the slavery boom in the 1700s. In the 1700s,
Wow,
and
it's
and
used
guess,
to make them superior. It
make them
literally is white
superior.
supremacy.
Yo, and guess what it was called? Guess what it was called? The First Great Awakening. So as we start our week off, as everything is an awakening, and
When I say
hey
we are the
man,
zeitgeist, we are the culture, I mean
hey
it.
man, come
We could
on
be knowing
man.
shit, bro, without even. It's just a feeling. I mean, listen. I tell you, I may say I'm not religious, but listen, there's a spirit within inside me. I believe that, and the spirit speaks through me. I don't know what be happening sometimes, and I do believe in in spirituality. So a lot of the things that I get, gut feelings for, or you know, and when I get, loud and I get angry sometimes, it's coming from a place that's beyond me sometimes. So I know there's more to this life than what I see. I just don't know what it is. I'm not going to try to explain it to you guys and tell you what it is and how
So
you should listen and live. But
so so
if you,
so Oh, no, go ahead. So I mean, but to
no, I was
but
just
that
going to,
but no, but to that we have been groomed for people to tell us how to live. Now I get that
exactly.
to you, Chidi, that is you being an individual in a world, like you're a black dot and on a white sheet of paper. You know what I'm saying? Like, and realistically, you are so much of a dot that if somebody touches it, they can smear it and it can get on other people, and that gets on me and us and other people. Because realistically, with that being said,
I'm just stubborn.
but there aren't a lot of, and to the point of this, there aren't a lot of individuals who want to think outside of being a part of the white sheet of paper. You see what I'm saying? Like there's a ton of people who may have these thoughts, who may have these, you know what I'm saying, these questions, who may have these adverse gut feelings about something, and just be like, well, I ain't finna rock the boat too much. Again, coming from a place where we're talking about this was passed down from our people that was brought from your country or your continent over here, and then people that have been a descendant of of those people that
Yeah.
were then passed down something, and this is folklore.
Yeah.
You
Oh
see
my
what I'm saying?
God.
Like this
Preach.
religion is folklore that's being passed down between us. We're telling these stories and we're passing it down and get it. The same thing about the Walmart situation that we talk about, bro. My wife loves the idea of church, loves the idea of grooming our children within the religion, loves the idea of reading the Bible and saying the prayers. And I, again, part of the smear of the black dot on the white piece of paper, am asking Ivana, do you even know what you're passing down to the kids? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
do you even interpret what it is that you are then giving to the children? Because
Mhm.
our Christian Christopher or Chrisiah can look at that Bible and grow up despite our teaching and what we want them to interpret, and interpret something different and meet their wife and then treat them and restart a cycle all over again.
Yeah.
You see what
Yeah.
I'm
I feel
saying?
you
Like, and
exactly. Coming
that
full
is
circle.
that is
Absolutely.
the shit
Yeah.
that
You
kind of
know,
gets me.
I'm not too against church because I think church is great for community and organizing. I do think that you have to be vigilant on the church can't be the North Star. You know what I mean? That's what
Ah,
I'm trying to say. I think church is good. It's like going to even going to school. School can't be a North Star. What the North Star is, how you teach your kids should be how you are as a person, how you treat the people that you love and people that you don't know and people that you don't love, people, how you treat human beings. You know, it really truly should center around that. The future, the best future, is that people get to have freedom of religion and go on their spiritual journeys the way they want. But it doesn't mean that that's the North Star for your entire life. Because you want to become a better person to not treat other people of different faith, people, genders, sexuality, creeds, cultures, race, religions from a place of disdain because you're part of this club. You know, you want to get to a point where you use these tools and these lessons to communicate with other religions and find a common ground to make the world a better place. Yeah, but yeah, you want to. The future should be, all right. Instead of like my religion is better than yours, and you got to listen to what we believe in, constantly debating on what's real, what's not, who was the Messiah. None of that really matters if you're trying to bomb each other.
but see now this is where our conversation, where you say we might be going in circles. This is where things connect at the intersect. Politics. We're having that same conversation within the Democratic Party, correct? Right, we're having the same sentiment within the Democratic Party, and there's a split because there's a need to stay in the past and how things were taught rather than write new pages. You see what I'm saying? And even
If you want to
within
bring it full circle
religion,
to politics, I'm sorry, I want you to land first because I want you to
no,
know,
no,
I
no,
want to hear where you're coming from.
go ahead, because you might be leading me
But
where
I
I'm
was
going
going to
anyway.
say, like I just said with religion, I know it's hard to do, but like we agree with more things than we don't. Religious, even with all religions. Like, yeah, we might say that this person's Messiah, this person's Messiah, Muhammad or Jesus, but both of y'all believe you should love thy neighbor, right? I assume, right? So why are we bombing each other? Duh. Like, why are we doing these things? Why are we trying to kill each other off of this stuff? So
Well,
so
is
when
Israel's not Christianity. We got to really deep dive in what
Judaism is
Judaism is.
Judaism is similar too. All these texts are
Respect,
similar. All of
respect,
them are similar.
respect,
They're not
respect.
necessarily like miles, but what we do is we fight off of the differences rather than saying, "Oh, hey, man, we both agree that we should meet up and praise a higher power to be better people." Like we
And
all agree
it's
on that. But we want to argue, oh, well, you're praying 5 times a day. Oh, wait a minute, you eat pork. Oh, wait a minute, yo, you're not supposed to wear that. Like this is what we do. And it's like, but aren't the whole purpose to be a better person and give us a place where we can
yes,
go
that
to commune?
that is where
So I
I
want to respect your differences and choices to do that and not demonize you that you are now the devil because you don't believe what I believe. So we can both work together and make your place better and my place better.
the thing about it is you now back to the whole point of being in America. My first fucking amendment that they give me as a right is freedom of religion. I should be able to pray to the swinging dicks. I should be able to go to a goddamn
As long as you're not
synagogue.
breaking any laws.
Well, I don't disrespect the synagogue, but a building that just got a motherfucking twirling dick in front of it, and I should be able to goddamn pray to it because
You
that's a
pray to
religion.
it, but you can't swing your dick in front of it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, yes,
Public
yes,
indecency. Well,
absolutely,
this is my
absolutely,
point is that you should be able to do that as long as you are, as long as
correct.
you are not following the laws, you're not, and also
But they
trying to
make
be a
it,
better person. And if you can interpret it,
they make it against the law to practice a different religion. Now, this is where we kick it into America's xenophobia, right? Where this is now when we do look at the diaspora, or we do look at our Islamic brothers and sisters, or we do even as Americans, we tiptoe around the word Jew around here, nigga. Like JEWS, man. Like I'm not there's no discriminatory against Jews. And again, I just said synagogue and I said, oh, let me apologize. Let me not discriminate. And I'm not doing that out of fear. I'm doing that out of respect. So with that being said, like there needs to be a way that humanity strips away the negative connotations of the practice of what your religion is. If you say I'm practice Judaism, I should not look at you and look at your yarmulke and look at you a certain type of way. I shouldn't and bro. I'm a Marine, not was a Marine. I am a Marine. I served with niggas that went to Fallujah and Ramadi and everything like that. They cannot look at an Islamic person without calling them a Haji. They cannot look at an Islamic person or a practicing Muslim without thinking that they're an enemy. They cannot even fathom the idea that that person is a good person. I don't subscribe to that. But again, this goes back with a Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown type of situation. I'm in the military. If that person looks at that person, if someone that wears my uniform looks at that person and says that's an enemy, and then I don't ride with him and say that I think that that's an enemy, I'm less patriotic. I'm not on that team. I'm then now demonized, and then I'm less. You know what I mean? Like there is a psychological brain fizzle
yeah,
that you have to a psychological minefield that you have to navigate through in order for you to be like, nigga, I'm an individual. I'm an individual. I don't have to subscribe to this. I don't have to subscribe to that. And even if I believe in what you believe in, I don't have to believe it in the way that you do. Like that is what makes a person a person. And
yeah.
if we are able to then love through that rather than hate through that, that is where we be able to mend those fences. But again, this is all back to how it is propagandized, right? This goes back to, well, we can't give a reaching arm to them because what they're going to do is chop it off.
Yeah.
And therefore you're fear mongering someone reaching out and giving out an olive branch of a hand or of an arm to assist somebody, or even to come to a agreement to where me and you both can stand and talk to one another, whether I'm looking down on you because you're on the ground, or you looking down on me and I'm on the ground, or whatever the
Yeah.
case
I
may
think a
be.
lot of it also is shame. Shame and power, you know, partially because shame is, if I start to see you as human, then I have to recognize that I'm treating a human this way. That I am trying to, if I can't demonize you, then I got to recognize your humanity. If I recognize your humanity, then I have to recognize my inhumanity almost of how I treat people who are humans, who are red-blooded human beings like me, and including so that I can logically demonize a whole group of people and rationalize bombing children and hospitals and roads and bridges because for some reason I believe that their entire culture is after me, and that they're the enemy. So there can never be a olive branch because I'm locked in, and I am seeking the end to my power fantasy that I am looking for, while not taking accountability. Because if I a lot of people will realize that every now and then I come across people who don't want, they've done so many bad things in their life that they don't want to look at themselves in the mirror. So there's countries like that though, that they're
Yeah,
just
and absolutely, and to that point, this is the weaponizing of the religion that we're speaking about. And I have some I'm sorry to cut you off, but I have some text to support again what we're speaking of. The curse of Ham. I don't know if you know what that is, but the curse of Ham, it was the reinterpretation of how, um again, the boom of white evangelists were able to convert black people over to Christianity. And within that text is in Genesis 9, right? The first book of the Bible, chapter 9. They're speaking about how God cursed Noah's son Ham, who had dark skin, and then mandated that his descendants be servants of servants. So they were able to oh, my mama.
get the fuck out of here, bro. This isn't the Bible, guys. I never read that part.
Yo, yo, and so we have also, right, we have also uh preaching submission, right, in Ephesians chapter 6 verse 5, where they have white evangelists selectively weaponize this in the text: slaves, obey your earthly masters. And they taught that white slave holders or slave owners represented God's ordained order. Right. So then when we're talking about the indoctrination and then massively brainwashing an entire race of people, or entire ethnic group of people, under the guise of religion, right? That is how that boom started. And then we then bring that into white supremacy. Clearly we in the 1840s,
Yeah,
it's a national push by then,
yeah,
right?
yeah, for
It took
sure.
100 years. It's now we have codifying white supremacy within the religion,
Yeah.
which with this now nationalized. You see what I'm saying? And then when we talk about how we get to exactly where we're at with the racial segregation, the rise
But
of
imagine
religious right.
telling a group of people that, and them
Yeah.
saying, "Yeah, that's what God wanted." Like, it's sad when you really think about that, because man, I just, but it's not. Do you know what it is really? It's not like they just accepted it. It's that you beat it into them. They didn't accept it. If their kids didn't accept it, then they would be in trouble. Like it's a abuse That
Yeah,
is.
it's psychological, and this is
Oh
why.
my
And
God.
bro, this is why we're talking about this conversation about again when we're talking about why we are such docile people, why we don't rise up, why we're scared of revolting. And shout out to Clapsis. He just gave us a passage to look at, which is Leviticus chapter 25, verse 45, 46, and 47. It's one of the most historically significant and heavily debated texts in the Bible. During the rise of both early American Christianity and the 19th century evangelical boom, pro-slavery pro-slavery politicians weaponized these exact verses to argue that God explicitly authorized chattel slavery based on national origin and legal status. So here is the biblical text
I'll read it. I got
via
it here.
King James version. You got it. Moreover,
Yeah.
okay.
So it says 45, you may also buy some of the temporary residents living among you and members of their clans born in your country, and they will become your property. Now, 46 is you can bequeath them to your children as inherited property and make them slaves for life. But you must not rule over your fellow Israelites ruthlessly. What? 47, if a foreigner resides among you becomes rich and a fellow Israelite becomes poor and sells himself to the foreigner residing among you, to a member of foreign clans. If a foreigner resides among you becomes rich and a fellow Israelite becomes poor and sells himself to the foreigner residing among you or to member of the foreign clan. Okay. This is the more and more I look into this, the more and more it seems like somebody wrote this bitch.
Yeah.
And obviously somebody did, but like somebody just threw this in there, like how that's one thing we don't talk about. How much has been put into the Bible that we don't know,
Yes.
that just been just added, just add this line. Sounds cool, sounds good, and it justifies slavery. So let's just throw it in there and teach it to everybody.
So
Let's
so
read.
with the
Let's make it in mass. Let's
so
completely.
I mean, but within those three verses, right? This is how they used it for a slavery as property, right? So what person is your possession? That's in the Bible. And then now intergenerational slavery, meaning I inherit your children, and then my children inherit you and your
You and
children.
your children crazy. So
And
yeah,
they
man.
split and they split it up, the us before them, right? The text create a strict legal division between how Israelites were treated, who could not be ruled over the rigor, and how strangers, foreigners, were treated. Again, we are foreigners, right? African people are foreigners essentially, and that is how we're a them, right? We're not true to this country, we're not true to this land, right? So now white slave owners had this directly into they cast themselves as the chosen people. This is why we have a fight between the whites and the blacks about who's the true Israelites. That is a conversation that I don't even know if we got enough. I don't even know if we got. I don't even know if we got the time to
So
talk about the Black Israelites and whatnot. You know what I'm
and this is
saying?
why I don't get into the Black Israelite stuff because I think it's a wasted conversation. I think it's
Okay.
just who gives a fuck who's the first Israelites. I honestly believe that you guys are too indoctrinated to this book. Fuck this book. Burn that hard drive. Burn that signal. Burn it all. I'm not gonna burn no Bibles right now, but I just believe that.
Hell no, they got our IP, nigga. They would be knocking at the door.
But I believe that we're missing the point of being human through all these ridiculous debates. I truly believe it. I truly believe that we're missing it. It's completely being missed. And through these debates, all we do is try to we create an echo chamber Then we go fight another echo chamber, and while we're doing this for years and years, fighting each other, making their quarrels over little semantical arguments, life passes you by, and we don't find any reconciliation. We don't find a way to, fix a lot, just fix society. Period. To feed the poor, to feed the sick, to take care of the elderly. To make sure we can find new ways to treat, children who are sick, who, any cure cancer, whatever, where we can spending our time on. And I think the religion just usurps up our life force into this straight up sycophant nature where we don't try to really ask the hard questions because we already think we have all the answers in a book. It's like a lazy way of thinking you have the answers almost.
Well, and what's crazy is what would make you trust the book when they've been banning books? They've been banning books. They've been altering books. Nigga, McGraw Hill, whatever that the publishers, the
The
creating
textbooks,
Texas,
yeah.
like you know what I'm saying. Like what would make you, if you have some inkling about what is the possibilities of this world, right? And this goes back to why I'm a big on the conspiracies, right? You know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? Like when we talk about, this is centuries now cheating, right? This is centuries now, and you got to now identify that people know the truth and just say fuck it, we just put the profit off of it. Now this is just about to be a full blown for profit situation. We don't
Yeah.
care how many people we hurt.
The good
We
old
don't care
mega
how many
churches,
people we
man. Oh my
frustrate.
God.
Oh man.
Yo. It's now like, wow, wow, wow. There's so much bread in it. There's so much bread in being a charlatan.
Yeah, we gotta pin this comment. If the Bible has any contradictions, which it does, how do we know what is true in it or not? Do we just pick and choose? That yeah, we gonna put that we gonna put that in our community post.
How do we know what's true or not?
We we
Then
gonna we
do
gonna
we
we
just
gonna we
pick and
gonna take that.
choose?
Yeah,
When it comes to
we
the
gonna put that in the
contradiction in the
community
Bible,
post.
I would get it. I can always tell you, just like you pick and choose with Harry Potter books, of what you want to say. Like me and him watch Marvel, and I'm like, well, took this interpretation from this, and he took that interpretation, and I'm like, well, I thought that was a bad choice. And he's like, no, I thought that was a good choice. That's how I look at the Bible too. That's just me. I look at that too. Like I think that I take my messages from it that I believe really resonate with me. And when you send me Bible verses, I read them because I might need that message that day. Because it's some real wisdom, bro. There is
Yeah,
some real wisdom in the Bible. So yes, pick and choose. Pick and choose as long as you're not trying to hurt people and use it to justify evils.
yeah.
That's
I
where
mean,
there's a problem.
and
And
and and to that point, to your point, that yo, we are a great tag team, bro. Problem. The problem with slavery is kidnapping. It's directly opposed in the Bible. Exodus chapters 21, verse 16, it states, and he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hands, he shall surely be put to death. That's in the Bible as well. So what it's saying is that, nigga, you're not supposed to sell another man, and if you do, you're gonna die.
uh, yeah.
And we and again we just
And honestly, I'm
bypassed
not
we
sure
just
if I,
bypassed that.
I don't. Here's the thing. I'm not sure if I like that because you're killing
Okay,
somebody. It's like that goes against
okay,
my belief of human life. However, I do believe in the part
okay.
of like you're not supposed to be kidnapping a man and selling him. That's absolutely true. So there's
Mm,
I'm forced to pick and choose on that one verse. I'm forced to pick and
mm,
choose and interpret it in a way that I'm like, all right, use my own brain, my own moral compass, and saying what's right and what's morally right for this statement because do I think I don't think a man should be taking another man's life. I think that's not our choice. I think that's what we do. I don't think that we should be. This experience called life is a gift. It's precious. We don't all choose to come here, and I think that's just truly a huge sin in my book. So I think that you could definitely do things like a reformation, whether it means jailing and prisons and that kind of stuff as a society to protect us from the dangers of people who are not living ethically. But I don't believe in just killing people. That's penalty. That's just not me.
Okay, so death penalty is something that you. So when we're talking about even now in our utopia world, outside of now the biblical sense, when we're trying to create now with our jail, our prisons, our rehabilitation centers, is there no crime that results into a death penalty for you? How do you preserve rehabilitation for a person, or do they just rot in prison for the rest of your life? Way is there no eye for an eye in the world of cheating?
The eye for an eye is losing your life. Losing your life the way
Right,
as you
right.
knew it. I do believe in like life imprisonment. I do. I do believe in that. I do even within life imprisonment. I do believe you should have a decent life. Like you should never be able to harm a kid again if you're a pedophile ever, molester, never. And that means you are never going to be around kids again. Absolutely not. We can't let that happen. Now, should I chop off your dick? Should I kill you? I don't know, because that's kind of cruel.
The state shouldn't kill anymore. The death penalty should be reserved for the very few that can't be rehabilitated. And that is
But
something, right,
who are
that
we to make that decision? That's my thing. Like, who are we? How do
okay.
we know who can't be rehabilitated? That's where I fall. I don't know. Like, so I would say you put them in, even if it has to be solitary confinement, like for people who are like serious murderers and all that stuff, serial killers. That's their life. Maybe you throw in some outside time with by themselves where they can get some sunlight, get a decent meal, and then you throw them back in the box. But they have to find a way to. I think you should also should have some communication with a human being because it's a human need, but not from a place they can touch them. You know. Yeah, that's where I come from, man. So yeah, your favorite verse is now go to attack Amalekites, and totally destroy all that belongs to them. Do not spare them. Put death to men and women, children and infants, cattle and sheep, camels and donkeys. Oof, that's harsh. That's
Ooh.
harsh. It just justifies war. Like this is what our 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 religious texts are teaching, and then we wonder why we're living in this society where, or the reality where there's so much war, so much famine, so much oppression, so much prejudice.
So when we, when and I don't want to be super disparaging, but when we got a culture, a gang culture, when we got OTFs and we got the '60s and we got Pyrus and treetops, and when we out here banging with the vice lords and GDs, like
Yeah, it
there
justified genocide.
is
Facts.
it is just they find it. There's a way in the Bible that you can find something to justify your wrongdoing, and that is something that is hard to be like, well, is this the good book per se? You know what I'm saying? Like we've always referred to the Bible as the good book. Well, it's a lot of things that they allow you to do when they justify it in the name of, you know,
The Bible,
this
yeah,
religion.
of
You know what I mean?
religion,
So
yeah.
yeah.
But man, so yeah, when it comes down to the wire, I believe that this is an ongoing conversation we need to have. But it gets tough, and when we look at the now the finances going into things like APAC and all these things that are being put into our political space that are backed by religious organizations to continue like genocide and murders and all that stuff, it starts to put a little bit more sense into the framework of why they're so staunch in the way they think. Because if you've been beat into your brain this since a child, every single day, or every week, going into church or your synagogue or wherever, and you're telling and you're reading these texts, and you're like, yeah, of course, that's just life to you. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just life. We're taught that this is our destiny. Why are you going against our natural order, our destiny? Why are you going against my religion? But
Yeah.
it's almost like it's psychotic because you've been forced into this, you know, because
Stockholm syndrome.
you know what I mean.
Yep.
So it's
Stockholm syndrome
I
through
almost
religion.
have I almost have a pity for them as well as a sadness when I think about it for people who are so pro-Israel and so Zionist that they can't see that they want to kill every Palestine. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you act like every Palestine's fucking like gonna come for your cat, dog, and your kid. Like, why are you so against them? Some people. I don't think people even realize what they're saying sometimes when they talk about genocide and bombing and killing them. People are getting raped in prisons, bro. Sodomized. It's not okay. People are getting tortured. And if you are, I can't even talk about it, bro. It's tough. It's tough.
It's crazy. Right on cue, the last thing he texted said, I definitely get empathy drained from these subjects.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
exactly,
saying?
exactly. I gotta end the pod even right now because I'm getting anxious already. I deal with anxiety, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. I deal with anxiety, but I do have a bleeding heart, as Chris would say, when it comes to these topics because it does take something out of me when I think about it because it's
Yeah.
hard. There's people suffering, and I'm like, man, I just wish people could, wake the fuck up. Wakey, wakey. I honestly need
Hey,
the
that's
world
the
to,
that yo, that's the theme of the week, bro. We are awakening ourselves again. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like this is part of the deprogramming,
Mm,
right? That we are ascribing ourselves to, and building a community of people who are already deprogrammed or trying to deprogram, and finding a community that wants to relay these resources to allow us to unplug, like that then recharges a little bit, right? it,
yeah.
it gives us it gives us a little bit of reprieve, knowing that we are, because sometimes we feel like we're crazy, right? It's just me and you in
Uh-huh.
this and doing this pod. We don't know who we're talking to. We don't
Yeah.
have this engagement. Like, we don't know if these topics are relevant, if they're pertinent, if they're engaging, if people are with it. And this right now, the past 2 days, I want to shout out to you again, man. Collapse, like, you
Yeah,
have
really.
allowed us and opened up a
100%.
portal to let us know that this gives us a refuel of energy. I know
Yeah.
that you're zapped right now. I get it, but
Yes.
bro,
Now,
yesterday within the chat, she was like, "Nigga, we got a conspiracy corner on this. We got a receipt room on this. We
yeah.
got so, like, we are charged up
No, for sure.
to
I'm still charged. Don't
the
get me
yearn
wrong.
for
Like, but
knowledge, man. The yearn
I
for it. Yep,
it gets it,
absolutely.
but when I talk about like you can't change people's minds. That's the thing. I feel bad. Like, I'm gonna realize like, yo, there's this uphill battle to change minds, to have a little bit more empathy for the people that are living on this earth, that are living literally, we're all more alike than different. We want to have a safe
Yes,
environment. We want to be able to
yes,
have food in our stomach, and for take care of our kids. We want to have a decent place to live, like it's we want to just live a decent life. We're all having to pursue happiness, whether you're living in the mountains of Timbuktu, whether you're in the jungles of the Sahara, whether you're in the desert of Sahara, whether you're in Nigeria or freaking Jamaica here in the States, whether you're in China, Tokyo, Belgium, you all are pursuing your version of what can be happy for me, and how can I take care of everybody that I love. And I think that's where I think that gets lost in the political space. We don't have enough empathy in our news discussions on these topics enough where we can be real with people. People want to dismiss it, and they want to call you woke or something like just dismiss any type of care for your neighbor, care for for people across the world. I mean, shit. I've been people tell me to shut the fuck up on shit like this before. I've heard it because you feel like you're alone because it's like but you see that wait, there's an issue going on. Somebody has to speak up, So I really do appreciate you, Collapse, and giving these chats where we can be find like-minded people. We're on Discord too, just discuss and see where their thoughts are on these things, and maybe find a community where we can grow, and maybe communicate and collaborate and move the world in a more positive direction. That's the goal, really, what everything is.
And he said that he appreciates us. He said he see us doing something big. We ain't stupid leftists, and that's the first step. And also said that we have to take care of ourselves. It's hard to care about everything. We can't care about everything, but we can focus on the thing that's closest to us. And honestly, the past couple of days, man, this past week, to your point, Collapses, Chidi has been so hands-on with me understanding what's going on in New York with Mondani when that first started going off, when that wave started first happening. He lives in that state. He's seen the reverberation of and the revivement of somebody who cares about the constituents. And me, I was apathetic, right? I'm like, man, Florida ain't never like I ain't. Nigga, I'm gotta get it. And now we have a real chance within the last couple of months of us being in the zeitgeist. So to that point, man, like this is close to me, right? We have the ability to grassroots and impact the ideology of people within our community and shit like that, man. So put some motherfucking name tags for the viewers. All right, can I give one criticism? Put some name tags for the viewers. All right, bet we'll
We
work
have
on
them.
names. We have name tags for us.
But we gotta get it for just a regular show.
We gotta get a regular show.
So
Okay,
this is like our conspiracy corner. This is our receipt room. But I'll get them popping for the regular overlay, and
okay.
so we can so we can make it official. So appreciate the constructive criticism, my guy. Appreciate
Honestly,
you.
we appreciate that. Honestly, one thing that separates you and other knowledgeable creators in your lane is you're just starting. But everything y'all said, I agree with. So
Yeah, we just starting. That's all.
that's hey
Appreciate you.
man, hey that's
Yeah.
what's yo. On that note, Chidi, take us out, baby. We can't
Listen,
get no higher than that, man.
listen, man. Let's bring up the music a little bit. Listen, man. I appreciate you, Collapse. You definitely feed us, man. Over the past 2 nights, you've given us life. Giving us life. Appreciate you. But yeah, man. Like I always say, all is love. I keep this wearing this hat because I want to show the world. And I want to get different love hats, but this is the one I have right now, where it was put love in your hearts and spirit first. That's my message to the world. There has to be more love in the world. That's why I wear this hat every pod. But yeah, man, thank you for joining us here on the pod where we talk about everything that matters. Everything is. We are the zeitgeist. We are the culture. I'm your host, Chidi Bang, CT, and I'm with my tag team partner, Chris. If you gotta see it. You gotta see it. There you go. We're talking about NFL ownership before, but that's not what we're talking about right now. Y'all need to see the names. There you go.
My guy said, yo, we have to do a conspiracy show one day. He'll put us on. So we got you on the Discord. We gonna link with you. Network. It's something that he said.
For real, we are definitely gonna. We
mean?
got you on Discord. We fuck with you, bro. We're gonna do conspiracy core probably next Friday, not tomorrow, because it's been a very busy week. We like to do our research for these themed episodes we do. So we got that next Friday. We are gonna probably drop. Well, you'll find out soon what the topic is. We're gonna work on that this weekend and figure but I'm kind of like, I kind of want to. You know what? I don't want to just say that. We'll talk about it maybe tomorrow.
What's the tease?
We'll tease tomorrow. I'll talk to you off air.
I bet.
But yeah. Yeah, thank you, man. We're here. Please, if y'all are joining us, or if you're here on delay or anything, please like, subscribe, follow us on Twitter. If you got, not Twitter, follow us on Twitch if you're there. We do not have a Twitter. We do have an Instagram and TikTok, so definitely follow us on TikTok and Instagram. Everything is podcast. Everything underscore is underscore
baby.
podcast. So yeah, we need to get I'm gonna get an overlay for that too, so we can pop that up on the screen when we talk about our socials. But yeah, we're growing.
Hold on, let me do a quick plug before you go. Hold on, go ahead, filibuster.
Oh yeah, man, we're gonna keep talking, keep bringing in topics, and talking about things. Now, granted, there will be shows where we're not this intellectual. I just want to make that clear. There will be shows where we are on bullshit, where we are on complete fuckery, because so don't hold us to this crazy standard where we're always gonna be super highbrow. We like to talk wrestling. We actually had a wrestling podcast in the past 5 years, Reasonable Wrestling Podcast. You can find that online as well, because we're huge WWE fans, AEW. But to be quite honest with you, we also like to talk hip hop, movies, Marvel.
Before we get out of here,
pop culture.
Before we get out of here, I gotta let people know we got new audience. People are seeing this. Hey, we heavy on the politics. We are, but bro, we love our wrestling. You know what I'm saying?
I just said that.
We love our wrestling. You know what I'm saying? We gonna talk a little wrestling. Love our wrestling. Okay. Hold on. I can't just chuck my belt. My baby got this for me. Hold on. I gotta place it down. We love our music, our rap music. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Westside Gun. Shout out to the homie. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out Stove God, where you at?
Shout out to the boy Mac Miller, you know what I'm saying?
Rest in peace.
You know, I got the unreleased Kanye West, you know what I'm saying? We love our music, love our rap. It ain't just rap either, even though I got the Astro World, you know. Got the Mac, you know, some player. You know, some player. Chris Shaw, you know, gotta play Chris Shaw, you know.
Rest in peace.
And y'all see me smoking. Y'all know I'm the joint roller Ayatollah. I made my own papers, baby. I made my own papers. You know what I'm saying? Joint roller Ayatollah. That's me on them papers, man. We got our own papers. Baby.
He got his own papers.
He got his own money.
He got his own money.
You know what I'm saying? You know?
Man, listen, man, I love this, man. I really do. We had this idea for a while, you know, when we were gonna pivot to, like, about 2 years ago. We were, workshopping it, and then this year, Chris, he's like, you drag me back to the pod game, and I truly believe in what we're doing here. It definitely is way. I'm not that wrestling's not fulfilling, but this is ever fulfilling, because we can touch on so many different things, here. So yeah, I'm really excited for the future. We will be getting more our name tags on there, on this bitch. We will be polishing this up a little bit more for y'all, getting Discord ready, the newsletter. We got a lot on our plate, but yeah, we're moving, and I'm really happy to have met you, Collapse, and giving us this criticism, and love. Just be real. You're giving us mad love, and that's what it's about, man. So thanks for showing the love. Thanks for those who have been subscribed thus far. We're very, we're on our way to 200. We're like 117 at the moment. We're gonna be getting our clips out more often next week, I assume, because we'll be able to have the resource to do that and get back on our grind the way we were previous months. But yeah, we're going into the school year. We're going into the fall. It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be an exciting time. We got the midterms.
Oh my God, bro! We got midterms. We got football,
basketball.
Oh my gosh, the World Series.
We got GTA 6 is coming out. We're gamers too. We do our game thing here too. So yeah, definitely stay tuned, guys. We're gonna do a lot, and we're gonna also have the newsletter so you guys can tap into what you want. Because I'm sure we're gonna have people who don't want to hear about our takes on politics and Christianity all the time. They might want to fuck with our sports takes. That will be all in the newsletter, so you guys can just go straight to the video where you want to find that, or see the timestamp. We're getting that all together this weekend, so that I can get emailed to you guys. Or if you want our music takes, that'll be listed in there as well. So yeah, and if you're coming for the politics and all that stuff, yeah, we got you. We got that in spades. So yeah, stay tuned, stay tapped in. We got a lot coming down the pipe. I'm really excited for him. With that being said, all is love. Everything is everything. Thank you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.